I'll continue to count, and while we're doing that, then I'll turn the time over to Julie for our table topics. We have a table today for table topics.
Does it mean I have to stand on it? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't think I fit.
I love it.
Yeah. So I've missed a lot of, go ahead and turn this off there. I missed a lot of meetings this summer, and I apologize for that. But when I was here a couple weeks ago, one of our new people asked what he would like to hear why people join Toastmasters and what they get out of it. And it dawned on me, I would love to know that too. So today's table topic is going to be around why you join Toastmasters, what you expected to get out of it, and what you have got out of it so far, and where you want to go from here. So everybody's going to be a little different subject. So I'm going to start with someone that's been here a while. Let's see. Kevin, would you join us?
Sure.
I think you're the grandpa of the group.
No way.
You're the longest.
That's crazy. I have not been the most valiant, but
Right.
here I am.
So my question for you is, first off, when did you join Toastmasters, and what was your expectation then? And it's been a while, and we see you occasionally, so what do you want to get out of Toastmasters now?
Great.
Okay.
That's a pretty easy question. I was at this seminar in 2012 or the beginning of 2013. Darren Hardy, if you've ever heard of him. I saw him in person, and he was talking about how the world needs leaders, and one of the best things you can go do is to join Toastmasters. And I had seen that a couple times in my life, that joining Toastmasters would be a valuable opportunity to grow. And I never wanted to, because unlike my wife, I don't like to speak. If I get asked to do a talk at church, it's not exciting for me. Nonetheless, I did looked up the club, and I walked to the stairs, and I was still hesitant about joining it. I even waited at the bottom for a minute or two thinking, do I really want to join a speaking club? It's just not going to be that fun. Nonetheless, I went up the stairs, I joined it. The very first day, of course, they asked me to do a table topic. The first speech contest, I gave it a go, and the humor won, and you not even remember that. I thought I was terrible. I certainly didn't win it. I didn't even place in the top 3. What am I looking to do now? I'm trying to get on track to finishing up my DTM the old way. I have 22 speeches to do that, which I can do. So that's my plan. And I've been reading a lot of history books. My goal is to create a lot of speeches based on stories from history so I can use them in other areas of life, just kind of have them in my back pocket. Because I think once you know a story, it just sticks with you. And I want to get good at storytelling and humor, because I think that the most memorable speeches have great stories and are funny. So those are my...
We'll see you here more often?
Yes. Coincidentally, my wife, she's actually a much better speaker, and she has a lot to tell. She really is engaging, and I said just 2 weeks ago, why don't you go to Toastmasters? We have kids. So I am going to try to get her to come here. She's the one with the talent. I'm doing it because speaking is an essential skill. I don't want to go be a professional speaker, but she actually could. So
That's cool.
I'm going to, as of a couple weeks ago,
So maybe we'll
try to
have
get
you
her to
every
come
other
here.
week and her every other week?
I'm thinking something
I
like
say
that.
her speeches don't count for yours.
Right? Or do you
Thank you.
remember how much longer they have to finish it up, the old way?
2020.
That's what I thought.
Is it? Wait, what's the date, by the way?
September 2020.
I have till then. That's
I remember it was
plenty of time.
September, but I
That's
can't remember if
good.
it was 19.
I have half the speeches written. I just haven't given them.
July? Is it July? Okay, for some reason I had it in my head it was September, so you got till 20. So you got 2 years. All right. Next, I would like to invite Tad.
Oh.
Basically the same thing.
Okay.
So when did you join? What was your purpose then, and what do you want to see yourself getting out of it now?
Sure. I've been a member of Toastmasters, probably off and on for 4 years or more. I haven't always been valiant. I started in this club, And then I got a job up in Salt Lake, and so I went to a club up in Salt Lake, and so I'm back again. What got me interested in Toastmasters was I went to a programming conference, and this guy gave a phenomenal presentation. And some of the people asking him at the end, like, how did you prep for this presentation? And he answered, oh, I'm a member of this public speaking club called Toastmasters, and it's helped me a ton. So that was in the back of my mind. And I just heard about Toastmasters at a few different places, and I got to thinking, my job professionally is a programmer. I sit in a room, I currently work remote, I sit in a room by myself 8 hours a day and do this with plastic keys, right? No human interaction, no public speaking, anything like that. And so I did Toastmasters because I wanted to get something to balance out the stuff that I do day to day. And I wanted to be able to actually get up and express myself and do the things that I saw other people being able to do. I think when it really struck me was I was a member of this volunteer program called Read Today, and all of a sudden KSL showed up one day and said, hey, we want to interview some of the tutors, some of the volunteers, and they picked me as one of the people. And suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to answer all these questions, and it just kind of came naturally. I didn't and ah and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm not going to be a professional speaker, but I picked up some skills, and I can speak confidently and effectively on TV when the moment arises. I noticed a lot of other people didn't do that. They were just like, oh, whoa, TV, and it didn't go as well for them. So that's my goal, is just keep learning public speaking and do well. So, fallible.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm a fallible human being as well. All right, do we have time for one more? Weston, would you like to?
I'd love to, I'm doing a
Oh,
evaluation
you're
as
doing
well,
an
though, if you
evaluation.
want.
You know what, let's do Steve. Steve, I was going to ask you anyway, so I forget, Tad is too. We'll get Steve up here. We don't hear from you as often as I'd like.
All right. So, mark myself down for so. In 2004, I was laid off, and I had a friend that said, "Hey, you should join Toastmasters." And I don't know why he told me that. I still don't know why that today. I've always thought about joining Toastmasters, and 2 years ago, I started in August of 2016. I needed something for work for professional development. And I've always had a great fear of getting up in front of people and speaking. I'm really good one-on-one speaking with people, but in front of people, it just scares the bejeebies out of me. So, toots those. I looked up. I did a search on Toastmasters, Googled it, to try to figure out even where to go. And I saw there was 2 places. There was one in Lehigh, there was one here. I'm sure there were some other ones, but those were the ones closest. I looked at the times. 3 guys. And this one was at noon, and the Lehigh one was early in the morning. So I thought this one would work better. And so I clicked on this one, and it had a phone number, and it had Lynn Black's name underneath it. So I called her and just started talking to her about it. And she just ran and raved about it. So I'm like, that's great. And I was a lot like Kevin, where I was like really hesitant because it's getting out of that comfort zone of my home. I work from home as well, Tad. And it's like, oh gosh, it took everything I could do to get to our old meeting place, which is over in the city building. I remember pulling up, I'm like, am I really going to go do this? I'm walking in, and I sat down, and Eric was sitting next to me. And after, I can remember the speeches just like it was yesterday. There was Brian, he gave a speech on luck favors the prepared. And then Joe gave one about a taxi cab. what it was really hard for me to get here, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it. The thing that I noticed that first time was that how safe the environment is. I was really afraid of getting just ripped apart after giving a speech or doing table topics or something like that. But I just feel like this is a great environment. I actually feel like this is like kind of a, I don't want to call it a team, but it just feels really good to come and to learn and to be inspired by your speeches. And so that's why I've enjoyed Toastmasters and keep coming.
Thank you very much.